how do you argue this side of the argument? I don't know what it is, man. They just can't win. Tell me the argument against that, because it's always something, Tone. It's always something. It feels like a DNA as much as a playbook.
They don't know how to win,
Yeah,
good teams win, bad teams lose.
They just find a way to not win, no matter what.
Well, I think the state's obvious when you're 2-6. That's not who you are. And basically, the teams, we talk about it a lot in this league, that make the plays when it counts and don't beat themselves with silly, mistakes, win games, because for the most part in the NFL, it's a one-possession game in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Or it comes down to I say it's like a broken record. It comes because it's true. It comes down to 5 or 6 plays a game. You don't know which 5 or 6 are going to be the plays that determine the difference. But right now, there was a lot of positives you take from yesterday watching the tape.
Sure.
And guys played their tails off, and I really appreciate the effort and when it would have been easy down all 3 starting receivers, you're starting left guards out. You're coming into the game without, with a new left tackle, ETN's out. So you had all the excuses built in at the end in that fourth quarter.
Right.
When you're down 10.
Right.
To say I'm done, or we have no chance. And I give them credit on both sides of the ball, because they played their tails off. And offensively, to go down and put 2 drives together with, my guess is, a group of receivers who never have practiced even together, all at the same time on the field.
Good point.
And to get that done, and to protect, and to run the ball, and Trevor, getting to the right guy, and guys making plays, that's something you can build on. It's positive. But at the end of the day, whether it's the fans or the front office or the business or the coaching staff or the players or whoever, you just want to win. And it's miserable. It's no fun for anybody. And right now, we're just not making the plays.
Right.
Or getting the stops, or we have silly penalties that extend drives, or for them, or kill our drives, and then we have then you get into a turnover, something Trevor's had cleaned up this year. Until yesterday, those turnovers turned to 14 points.
Yeah,
and that's how you lose. That's a good football team. Green Bay's a good football team. Give them credit. They basically played the whole game with out a healthy starting quarterback, because Jordan Love got hurt on the first series and tried to suck it up, couldn't do it. And Malik Willis came in, and they throw the ball 4 times in the second half?
Yeah.
And they found a way. And, tip your hat to them. They made plays when you had to, and they made a huge play in that 2-minute drive. Was a really well-designed play, and that was it.
Tone, they haven't won a big game at the bank in 2 years.
Playoffs.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable, and it's just and as you say, all the good things, and there are a lot of good things, and then there's a lot of things that can't happen. 15 yards of offense in a quarter to start the game can't happen. Everybody said, "Hey, man, you can fall down to the Patriots 10-0, but you can't fall down to the Pack 10-0." Well, that's what they did. Yeah. Sure enough, and so. And then, like you said, Trevor, man, I want to laud him. And, man, what a gutsy, fourth quarter and throwing to those guys. But, man, you gave him 14, bro. You can't do that. You can't get it sacked on the 5-yard line. And so it's just and the defense, after the game, those guys, we did some good things. And yeah, you did, but you're playing, like you said.
They gave up 400-something yards. They didn't do anything good.
A one-legged quarterback, 170 rushing yards. And when you take the lead – then you let them run it down your throat and go all the way in for a touchdown.
400 yards and 30 points. There's nothing good about the defensive play yesterday. Stop.
Well, hold on. Let's back up. So, one, the slow starts this team has gone through.
Yeah. I thought they scripted, Tony. I thought that was the deal in the NFL. They script those first 10. That's when you're going to really be at your best.
Well, part of the problem this season at times is the defense early could not get off the field, excuse me.
Right.
I think we had, going into the game, we had given up the most points on opening drives. So, okay, defense came out. Well done. Got to stop. Got the ball. But now part of the complaints of, for the offensive side of the ball is they hadn't had very many opportunities early because the defense could have. Well, now they have opportunities and they didn't do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a first down until 6 minutes to go in the first half. And Trevor was off, I thought, early. Missed some guys. I thought he got, there was some leakage and pressure, and they couldn't run the ball early. And so you're like just shaking your heads like, dang it, our defense is doing their job early. I mean, it's a 0-0 ball game for the whole first quarter. It's like, okay, they're doing their job against a good offense, and our offense can get out of the way. So it's one of those things. It's like it's almost we take turns at times as a team of which side of the ball is not going to play well.
Right.
And that makes it difficult. And then end of the game. And we've seen this a number of times this year. We get a lead, or we get back control of the game, and you need a stop, or the offense has the ball in their hands at the end of the game with a chance to go win it, and neither side of the ball gets it done when it counts.
Right.
Or one side of the ball doesn't. That's not
right.
fair, because yesterday the offense
right.
showed up in the fourth quarter. But
right.
You need both sides, and Doug talks about it, and he's right. It's
complementary football, and we don't play. We're uncomplimentary. Yes.
That's right. Right now we're not playing complementary football, and that's how you end up at 2-6, and none of it's good enough. I mean, I think it's fair. Like, the defense felt like they did certain things well,
right?
And I get that they did.
Right.
At the end of the day, when your offense takes a lead and you have a quarterback who is not very proficient in throwing the ball, you just got to say, hey, we're not going to give up the run,
right.
And it's just you got to go win, and you got to get them off the ball. Because if you think about that kind of back and forth, we go take the lead. And all the momentum on, in the stadium, the Jaguars sideline. I mean, I was like, man, this is a great position to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Backup quarterback,
right?
Offense getting going. Okay, like now let's go finish this off.
I said to myself, Peterson, if you score here, don't you dare go for 2 because you're home, momentum. They're playing a backup quarterback. We win this in overtime. Don't you go for 2, and he didn't. So I was happy about that. But I agree with you.
But here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Now the defense gets out there.
Yeah.
Get a 3 and out. Get the ball back.
Yeah.
Get it right back to the offense who's got momentum and put this game out of reach.
Right.
If you go get a 2-possession lead against a backup quarterback,
you got him.
It's probably over.
Yeah. But we don't do
so
that.
Those are the little things. No, and that's why you're 2-6, and that's why we're 2-6. It's all of us, and the fact that those are the moments you have opportunities to win it. Those are like in a 60-minute game. Everyone knows when there's certain moments like, okay, we can go take this right here.
Right.
And the problem is we have not done that.
Yeah, we don't do that.
And that's why we're 2-6. And that's what I would tell anybody. It's like, well, you're 2-6 because you're not making the plays or getting the stops or taking advantage
when
of
you
the
have to. When you need
when you
to.
have to.
Yeah.
Because that's what winning teams do. If you look at the Green Bay Packers, who are 6-2, the reason they're 6-2 is because the last 2 weeks when they had to go put a drive together,
right,
they did it and kicked field goals with no time left, and they won back-to-back games.
Well, by the way,
that's the difference.
Rap sheet this morning, we know Kirk has a shoulder injury that said he's had a fractured collarbone, out for the season, which seems odd to me, though. But he must need surgery then because 6 weeks usually. Displaced.
It's a bad break.
Yeah.
And that having
and then
broken a few, that one can go 8. I know it's 6.
Just a couple minutes ago, he says Brian Thomas Jr. MRI on his ribs to determine his status for the week. They may be even more shorthanded. So, and they're going to Philly and they're going to get mollywopped, Tone. So just mark that one down.
I don't know about that.
Okay, I do, but that's all right.
One, Kirk with a shoulder blade, if it has to be surgically repaired, I mean that's at least 8 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were a team, if we were 6-2 and
2-6, you get them back.
Then you put them. Then you get them back
like they tried last year.
Yeah,
right. Remember, he went down at 8-3, and they tried desperately.
Yep. And so there might have been a chance for that, but my guess is 2-6, unless you can go on quite the run here, it's it's not over, but it's not looking good.
Fair to wonder if that's the last. Is that the last appearance for Christian Kirk in Jacksonville?
I
wonder.
Don't know. Listen, I've made a rule. I'm not talking about off-season moves or
that's fair.
Draft.
You want to do draft talk? You're not doing draft talk today with Pete? You and Pete aren't getting into it?
No, I've told Pete. I said, Pete, do not bring it up because until we are eliminated, we're not talking about the offseason.
So in 2 weeks
who's
then.
here and who's not.
2 weeks.
2 weeks then. Thanksgiving, we'll have to talk.
Because I got news for you, Tone. It ain't November 1st on the calendar, and these boys are cooked. Cooked.
I disagree.
I know you do. God bless you, and I'm glad you're part of the. That's why you're on the wall, and I'm not.
Well, part of it's because what I saw yesterday. Had a group of guys who were beat up and down a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. There was zero fight. I mean, there was zero quit. There was a ton of fight in them.
I saw the same thing with the Raiders. I saw the same thing with all the losers around the league.
I get that.
Patriots.
I'm not killing you. I hear you.
I know.
I'm just telling you.
He's right.
The defense needs. Listen, both sides need to play better.
Yeah.
You got to be smart. But I've just been in this league too long. When everyone says, "Oh, you have no chance," or "You're going to get blown out," or whatever. Sometimes it does happen, but I think these guys are going to go fight up in Philly. I really do.
Hey, Mia here, and thanks so much for watching 1010XL Jaguars. For even more coverage of the Big Cats, be sure to subscribe to 1010XL Jaguars.